What is a BINSR report? It's the buyer's inspection notice and seller's response. And if you're selling your Arizona home, you need these tips. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Lindsay with the Wise Move AZ team at Realty One Group. If you want to stay up to date on all things Anthem and real estate, then you need to hit that subscribe button. Pro tip, you're also going to want to hit the little bell icon so that you're the first to know when our new videos are posted every single Thursday. As your Anthem Arizona realtor, I've worked with a number of families to ensure a smooth sale of their home. A lot of work goes into getting your home ready to sell, and one of the key pieces is navigating the BINSR process. As I mentioned at the start of this video, BINSR is the abbreviated name we give to the buyer's inspection notice and seller's response document. If you want a copy of the BINSR in front of you while we go through these tips, put me on pause really quick, jump down to the description box below, download your copy, come right back, and we'll go through it together. It's okay, I'll wait. Ready? The BINSR is a 2-page document that's completed at the end of the buyer's due diligence period, which, unless otherwise negotiated, ends 10 days after contract acceptance. Okay, so the buyer's completed all of their desired inspections. Now what? Now, they'll complete the first page of the BINSR. The buyer has 3 options. They can 1, accept the premises as is, 2, reject the premises altogether, or 3, they can give the seller the opportunity to correct any disapproved items. Option number 1 is not that common here in Anthem. The inspection usually reveals something that ought to be corrected, repaired, or replaced, even if it's just something small. Option number 2 is not that common either. Rarely will the buyer just walk away from the sale altogether without giving the seller the opportunity to correct the items they disapprove of. That being said, we've seen it done. For example, if the buyer finds out that there's a sex offender living next door and they have small children, there's really no amount of work that you as the seller can do to make the property acceptable to them, so they'll likely cancel the contract. Option number 3, giving the seller the opportunity to correct the disapproved items, is hands down the most common thing that we see. In this case, the buyer will make a list of items that they want the seller to fix. This is usually done by making reference to the inspection report or reports. Now, for the rest of this video, let's assume that the buyer went with option 3, which means they've given you, the seller, a list of items that they want you to repair, replace, or correct. You as the seller now have 3 options. You can 1, agree to complete all of the requested repairs, 2, state that you're unable or unwilling to fix any of the items requested, i.e. outright reject their request for repairs, or 3, you can provide them with a list of items you are willing to fix. Again, at this stage, option 3 is the most common, but the choice is yours. If you select options 2 or 3, the buyer still has the opportunity to cancel the contract. So it's very important that you approach these negotiations carefully and thoughtfully. You don't want to lose the sale of your home because you're refusing to do a small repair. But at the same time, you don't want to agree to do more than what's reasonable based on the price of your home. So what are our top 5 tips for helping sellers successfully navigate the BINSR process? Number 1, stay on top of regular maintenance and repairs. If you stay on top of regular maintenance and repairs at your home and keep it in good condition, there's less for the buyer to ask for. And the less they ask for, the better. If you know you haven't done a good job of maintaining your home, you may want to have it inspected prior to listing and complete some or all of the suggested repairs. Number 2, keep in mind that no home is perfect, including yours. Don't set your expectations too high and hope that the buyers won't ask for any repairs. This is unrealistic and sure to lead to disappointment. Instead, take a look at your budget and decide what you can realistically invest in repairs to get the sale to go through. Keep in mind that in most cases, it's better to work with the buyer you already have rather than putting the home back on the market. Number 3, don't take it personally. This one can be tricky, especially if the buyer's asking you to fix something that you lived with the entire time you owned the home. As hard as it is, put your feelings aside and shift into business mode. This is a business decision and should be treated as such. If you were in their shoes, you'd probably be asking to have some things repaired as well. Number 4, get estimates before responding. Sometimes BINSR repair requests can look long and scary when you first see them, and your first instinct may be to get offended and refuse. Take a step back, breathe, and take the time to get estimates for the items they are requesting. You have 5 days to respond to the buyer's request, so take your time. You may be surprised to find out that the items they're asking for don't actually cost as much as you thought. Number 5, keep it in perspective. This one is tricky too, but it's so important. Like I said before, you don't want to lose the sale of your home because you refuse to make a $20 repair, but you also don't want to spend way more than is necessary. When thinking about how much you're willing to invest in repairs, you also want to consider how much it will cost to put your home back on the market. There's a cost associated with the time you lost on the market, and there's also costs associated with having to hang on to the house and all of the associated expenses for longer. What I'm saying is be realistic and sensible when responding to the BINSR. So there you have it. If you haven't already grabbed your copy of the BINSR, pop down to the description box below and click the link. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and sharing this video with your friends. See you next Thursday.